At a very high level, the solution that the PUC came to on the efficiency side of the equation, and most of us think of efficiency as like rebates for insulation or something. We think of it a little differently. It sits on the same policy stack, but underlying all of those kind of prescriptive measures that we've come to think of as efficiency is predictable, forecastable hourly value of reduction, which is called the avoided cost calculator. And that's really what makes this efficiency. Is we're not sending demand response signals. We're giving you a schedule of value that says in these hours this summer, if you reduce load relative to a baseline, many of you are probably familiar with using open source tools that we can generate on an hourly basis, you can get paid for that, and you get paid pretty solid money for it. So the PUC allocated $150 million primarily to the investor-owned utilities to deploy, also with MCE, to scale up an electric-focused peak reduction market access program for the summer. Also doubling the MCE budget, where we have an existing flex market program, which will look very similar. We're going to try to make them contiguous. And based on the flex market program design that we're about to describe, and the important part in the word flex market, but also market access, we think that's a good generic term the PUC came up with, is the core of the flex market approach is really twofold. One, breaking down all the barriers and all of the transaction costs to get companies like yourselves engaged and able to monetize these grid benefits for your customers without a lot of complicated rules and trappings, and without us prescribing how you go to market in your business. And then leveraging population NMEC to pay for the savings delivered at the meter across your portfolio. And that payment goes to the aggregator so that you have the same incentive as your customer. You actually make money when your stuff works. It's not just a pass through. And there's a lot more on population NMEC on our website. We're not going to get into the weeds on that sort of thing. We'd happy to have those conversations, but we're going to stay focused on the making money part of this equation and why this is important to your business in this webinar.